I recently just posted a video on a Titan build that hard counters all the Prismatic Hunter spam in PvP, but then of course all the Warlocks in the comment section were like, hey, you forgot about us! So today I'd like to show you how you can leverage a specific ability in the game sometimes. Today I'd like to show you how to leverage a specific ability in the game, sometimes as many as 12 times in a single match. An ability that will literally let you walk through the fire and the flames and carry on like nothing is the matter. And for the life of me, I cannot figure out why no one is using this. And I do mean no one. Like, according to the API, there are 0.7 Strand Warlocks, less than 1 Strand Warlock for every 100 Guardians in PvP. And then beyond that, the number of them using this specific ability are fewer even than that. So if you were to play 10 matches of PvP across likely 2 hours and you reset the lobby every single time to get new players, you may encounter one single individual running Weavewalk. And I don't get it, because after spending some time really diving into this ability, like, it's absurd the things that you can get away with. I mean downright absurd. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you very specific applications of this ability. Not just saying, oh hey, this thing's real good in PvP, use it, like and subscribe. Nah, I want to show you some specific maneuvers that I learned across many hours of refining my approach with Weavewalk. So let's get into it. The first application is the reload synergy, right? So let's say you're in a duel, you win that duel, but you need to reload your gun, and that's going to activate maybe heal clip or kill clip, something like that. Well, since you can reload your weapons while in Weavewalk, I don't know if you knew that, you can actually reload your guns in Weavewalk. All you have to do is kill the first target, immediately enter Weavewalk, reload the weapon to activate the perk, whether it's kill clip or something else, exit Weavewalk, and then lay into the next target. So let me show you this maneuver in PvP now. This is downright dirty. Like, it's disgusting. It takes some discipline and learning to get the timing down, but this maneuver is like psychological terrorism. The second enemy comes in thinking they're going to clean you up, and a lot of times what happens is one of two things. First, they will often just disengage with you because you have teammates around that, you know, now they need to be worried about those guys, not you. You're in Weavewalk. They can't really damage you very much. And when they look away, you exit Weavewalk, and then you lay into them. The other thing that happens is that they'll empty their magazine into you, trying to do as much damage as possible to you in the Weavewalk state. But it's really only going to tickle you, and then you exit Weavewalk when they start their reload, and now they're defenseless. I gotta tell you, this maneuver is like critically important to leveraging Weavewalk appropriately to its maximum potential. So that's the first maneuver you need to know if you want to take Weavewalk to its limits and beyond, right? Kill, rabbit, reload, exit, kill. Even if you don't have kill clip or a reload perk at all on your weapon, it's still going to leave you not vulnerable during your reload animation. So there you go. The next thing I want to talk about before we move on to the second maneuver is actually how to set up your build, right? So I'm running a triple 100 build. I've got 100 recovery for more rift charges and faster health regeneration while I'm in the Weavewalk state. I've got 100 discipline, so I can throw more threadling grenades and have another variable on the field for enemies to focus on. And of course, I've got 100 strength, so I can obviously cool down my arcane needles faster. Activating Weavewalk siphons off your melee energy, right? So when you activate it, you'll start to see your melee energy slowly whittling down and going through your melee charges. It's not a 1-to-1 where it consumes like a full melee charge on activation. Doesn't do that. It's more like pouring out 3 different containers of liquid. So if you enter and exit Weavewalk quickly, you'll actually not consume very much energy. But if you want to generate even more melee energy, there are lots of ways to do that, right? I used an SMG with Pugilist on it. Having Pugilist on a weapon, the one that you're dueling with primarily, that's a great way to get a chunk of melee energy back as well. I've got Outreach ×2 on my Warlock Bond, so that whenever I put down a rift, I get a nice chunk of energy back. And on my boots, I've got the mod that grants melee energy on Orb of Power pickups. So there's lots of ways to make sure that you've got lots of charges throughout the duration of your matches. All right, let's move on to the second maneuver. I'm calling this one the Super Rabbit. So here's the thing about Needlestorm. It suffers the same fate that Nova Bomb often does. Unfortunately, to activate Needlestorm, you often need to be at an elevated position above the battlefield, but Bungie does not give you much damage resistance during your animation, and you're highly vulnerable on your way up and on your way down as well. So I like to go high, cast the super, and then immediately enter Weavewalk so I can disengage safely. In the meantime, my army of Threadlings is going to take the aggro off of me so I can exit and start hammering the survivors, or I can just get back to the safety of my teammates instead. There are other times where I'll actually enter Weavewalk first, get into position, exit, cast the super, and then go right back into Weavewalk. This has dramatically increased my survivability as a Broodweaver in PvP. Sometimes I have to just sit back and laugh after dropping a super like that on a team and then just casually walking out like it's no big deal. And before we get into the next maneuver, I gotta mention the Tilt Chase. In my live stream yesterday using this build, which by the way, if you want to ever watch me use these builds in real time, live, ask questions, hang out with our awesome community, you should absolutely check out our Twitch channel over at twitch.tv/thetruevanguard and get notified whenever we go live. Come in and say hi. But while I was streaming yesterday, there were so many times that I would extend, I would enter Weavewalk right in front of an enemy, and then I would just casually fly back to my team, right? Just turn around, fly back to my team. And these people would get so upset that they would just ignore everything going on around them and follow me with the intent to kill me the second I exit Weavewalk. But what would happen more often than not is that they would angrily follow me back to where my teammates are, and they would completely ignore my team. They'd ignore my teammates. And my teammates would then just gun them down with ease, and I'm over here laughing at the tilt chase like, what did you think was going to happen, buddy? Like, it's just too funny when this happens, and it does happen quite a bit. And that ties in directly to the third maneuver I want to cover. It's the intentional overextension. One thing you can do that's actually super helpful for your team is actually to overextend yourself into harm's way, into like a 1v3 or something like that. But do it in a location that will slow the enemy down and make them focus on you, while your teammates are then free to advance to a capture zone or to heavy ammo or a better position on the map. I did this a lot on Javelin 4 actually, specifically when I was practicing it, and it was immensely helpful for my team. Like I would run to B with my teammates, but instead of staying on B and helping cap, I would actually move forward because there's red on the radar. And while they're capping, I would run in, take the aggro, and then Weavewalk, and then walk backwards so that the enemy team couldn't meet us on B at the same time just to have a big brawl. Instead, we've got the power position. They're stuck in a doorway, you know what I mean? And they're easier fish in a barrel for our team to team shoot together. I do this on the old heavy tunnel since it's a bottleneck. Take a couple of shots and then I'd rabbit, and this would slow the enemy team down while I then pull out to safety with no real harm done, rejoin my teammates who are now set up at a better position because of the time that I bought them. But beyond just the value to the team, I'm an aggressive player as it is, and I like having the option to intentionally overextend a little just to see if I can get a nice play lined up. So worst case scenario, I realize I'm not going to be able to win this engagement, so I just rabbit on out. But sometimes I can overextend because I have that safety. I have the fallback plan of Weavewalk, so I extend myself, and then I can sometimes just make a cool multi-kill happen, get some momentum rolling. But there's much, much less risk in making that initial extension when you have Weavewalk as your getaway plan. So folks, that's Weavewalk in the current sandbox. I hope seeing it in action and seeing very specific applications of it has encouraged you to try it out. I gotta admit, I did not think that it was going to be as useful as it is. I didn't think it would have as much uptime as it does either. But you can play around with it quite liberally in PvP, and that's kind of what made it so fun to use, honestly. So thanks for watching the video. If you're a Weavewalk user, then feel free to add any maneuvers you've learned or picked up as well. Feel free to leave a like on the videos. That's the best free way to support the content here on YouTube, and subscribe for additional Destiny content. Be warm and well fed, my friends, and I hope to catch you in the Crucible.
Your moments of clarity get Zone C lost. Enemy has zone advantage. Now you're fighting with heart, Guardian.